Oh man, that's nuts looking. All right, so where am I going here? Going to this. If you haven't seen this video, a couple of people said that you might want to check it out.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? I'm really enjoying these voiceovers. And now, it's time for a little bit of that cinematic style.
I just had to do that. I thought it came out pretty good. So today, RC Guy Garage Live, just doing a basic repair. I wanted to do a live just so that you could see, like, I don't know, that this thing is becoming exactly what I had hoped. And the rip that I did, I mean, the thing, like, that was such a full trigger experience rip. Like, that's why I said, like, when I did the editing, I said RC Guy Garage going full trigger bananas, because I did like this whole part about, you know, getting motor temps and basically checking the whole car out right outside. And several times I kept on fumbling around with the camera because I don't know. I guess I wasn't paying attention to the camera. I was paying more attention to the car itself because, you know, I want to say, like, what my eyes just saw. It was all my dream. So the thing came out. I think this thing came out pretty mint. It's extremely resilient. Is it perfect? Nothing is. So yeah. Anyways, let's just rip into this repair. Oh my gosh. I do think that this thing has become like a mint Mint vehicle. So who's here? We got Earl, Losi commercial, right, guy? Maybe Losi. Oh, it'd be nice if Losi was watching, but I doubt it. James Phillips, Lorne, what's going on, guy? You having nightmares about the Losi Lasernut? Nice. Awesome, James. Anyone got... Oh, no. Okay, there's audio. Yes, audio food. Audio food? Do you want to tell you what's going on, guy? Big Papa Paul, what's going on, man? Lasernut. I know. Obviously, I've seen Big Papa Paul. So this guy over here, Big Papa Paul, he's got a love-hate relationship with this Lasernut. He loves it, but I think he hates the fact that he hates it. Something like that. I don't even know. It is a good vehicle. And I think if you do the conversion, I mean, granted, if you want a rock racer, leave it as it is and just, fix whatever you got to fix when you break stuff. But this conversion has just, it's allowed the vehicle to soften everything about the suspension and the drivetrain to where it's become I almost feel like this is going to be my go-to vehicle. And it's not like I don't have this thing, the EXB. And I mean, right now, this is not my go-to vehicle. And it should have been, which I think that's the part that's frustrating, was this car, this truck, whatever you want to call it, this should have been my go-to vehicle, and it's not. That one is. It's just easy to take around. I'm not saying that the Creighton isn't easy to take around. It definitely is. But man, yeah, did I break an axle out of the box? Yeah, 100%. And that was definitely I have to say it was definitely a manufacturer defect. So I still got a contact Horizon. It's just the thing about contact and Horizon now, you're waiting on there was one time, and it must have been a fluke. I have no idea why, but I called Horizon, and no sooner did I get put on the hold, the music starts playing. I get out, here we go, another hour and a half of listening to music, and someone picked up like that, and I was kind of like shocked. Like I thought like I got disconnected. Like, I mean, the music stopped, and I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And then somebody just answered the phone, and I was just like, no way. I'm like, guy, this is the first time I've called you guys, and someone actually picked up. So I don't want to wait an hour and a half. It's like, maybe I could edit. Oh, actually, maybe I should call them right now. That way I'm going to be on the live stream for like 3 hours, right? They should pick up at some point. But anyways, yeah, it's frustrating calling Horizon right now. Just the phone support, it's rough, man. It's definitely rough. So yeah. So enough of this talking stuff. Let's just jump into seeing what's like. It's not broken, and that's the best part, man. I just got to figure out how I'm going to rebend that axle. And I am going to take it apart. It's actually the little spindle that sticks out. I am going to, take things apart, do it kind of, I guess, the right way. The other way would literally just the vehicle on, like the tire and stuff, like on the vehicle, and just like crank it the other way and see if I can get it bend. But I want to see how bad it is. I want to make sure that nothing else is wrong. And that's part of the maintenance that I am severely lacking in, is that, I just don't. I mean, I'll maintain my wife's car and whatever. I can't even say I maintain Big Black, man, because I don't even know how that truck is still going. I mean, there are people there are people that don't understand. There are people that don't understand how my truck is still alive. So, yeah. So, anyways, let's just jump into this. I do have chat over in the corner here, so I will be able to see chat if anybody is talking or has any questions. But if any of you guys have seen that video that I did, well, obviously Earl said it looks like a commercial, which actually, you know, what's funny is another person had said that the video I did, it was like a commercial for Losi, and those are some pretty good, like pretty positive comments, you know. Your video was a Losi game changer, you know it, guy. Right, man. Yeah. Greg, what's going on, guy? Or is that George? No, George, not Greg. I do have actually glasses I'm supposed to be picking up. Has anyone sheared any drive axles on a DB Pro? I haven't. But the reason why, obviously, the axles, you know, sheared possibly was, well, actually, you know what, Deontay, you know, this is running. Well, you're also on 4S too, Deontay, and you're probably on 12S right now. You know, 6 + 6 = 12S. So you're probably on 12S on your DB Pro. You need to show one video build of the HOBAO nut. Right. 4S, right. Yeah, so I mean, Deontay, you're pushing your vehicle anyway. I mean, God, the video, he sent a little clip to the Facebook RC Guy Garage website on Facebook, and he was jumping on a sidewalk, and he literally jumped right into a tree. Like, I mean, he slammed the tree. It was funny, but not. You know, you always laugh at, you know, somebody else's expense, I guess. But anyways. Right, James. Yeah, James, just a little bit of wrenching, yeah. Let's see. All right, Deontay, you broke axles. Right, exactly, 2 times. BMC Kid, what's going on, guy? Let's see what we got here. The whole Lasernut is a maybe your Lasernut is a manufacturing defect, not this one. I definitely got, like, you know what I got? I think I got the Lasernut that was probably like a Tuesday or a Wednesday one, where they also, the day prior, they had received a bonus in their paycheck. So this Lasernut, I feel, was treated a little bit better than most. Whoops. What was that? HOBAO nut, yeah. No, HOBAO nut. I think that was Earl. What's the most lipo cells you could put in a 110 scale? You could put 200S. All you have to do, if you want to run 200S, just get those tiny little battery packs and just put 100 in them, 2S packs, and then just wire them up all in parallel. And then you've got the most lipos in an RC car ever. And if you do your math right, you'll come out with 200S. You know, technically it is 200S, right? If you put 100, and this is a cat pack, by the way. If you put, well, okay, wait a minute. If you fit, I think I got one right here. If you can somehow fit and wire up 100 of these 2S packs, you are now ripping a 200S car. I mean, could you imagine that? Just imagine the sheer power that a 200S vehicle would have. You know, there are some people out there that, you know, their math is a little off. That's okay. See if it all adds up right. Yours is a Friday. Oh no, Blake Papa Paul, right? Yours is a Friday, 5 minutes before finish up. Oh man, yup. Yeah, it's terrible. You run a 3S Max, right? Right, dude. 100S plus 100S is 200S. You know it, guy. Oh my god, I love it. Anyways, so where are we? So this is the wheel. I think the other one, is the other one a little mangled too? Yeah, so the other one's a little mangled too. It's slight. This one is obviously more, but this damage to this car was deserved. I had 2 or 3 pretty bad accidents. I also hit a tree. Granted, when I hit the tree was just literally a front contact right here, and this is a pretty resilient little area right here. I was able to slow down the footage, and I saw what was going on. So the other thing that after a rip like this, okay, there's a lot of things going on with this vehicle, and it's only because now the vehicle is finally broken in. Not broken, it's broken in. So right now, I'm just noticing my front link, my front toe link on this side. You can actually see, and this is all maintenance stuff that you should be doing. Now, obviously, you can see that screw has backed out. See that screw moving? So obviously, that's moving. This one's fine. We got a little bit of looseness here, but check this out. So this thing took a lot of abuse. Oh, I got to turn another light on. I got like 2 more lights I got to turn on. But if I want this vehicle to keep running the way it has, you got to do maintenance. So today is going to be, since it's a garbage day out, today is going to be that maintenance day. Like when we ask for links to his product. What? A lot of things. What? Maybe I gotta get another charger. Oh, dude, if you want, well, get whatever charge you want, but I think I don't know, is it in the link in my description? There's a link, or there's a battery charger that I charge every single battery I own with this charger. So, but anyways, so this wheel's loose, the wheel nut is loose. This one is tight, but obviously the link is loose. So maybe the reason why this link isn't loose is because the wheel nut's loose. Coming around to the back side here, I'm so used to those grasshopper leg things now. Let's see. This is actually very slightly loose, just enough where I can feel it. And this one's actually loose. So this might not be, well, yeah, no, it's bent. Oh, either way, deserved, totally deserved. Whatever the word is I'm looking for. It's just, man, I killed this thing. Shock shafts are all mint. Nothing's bent. I did check the shock shafts. I will say, or I will recommend, that on these Tenacities, what I have noticed is that it's kind of weird too. The nylock nut for the upper shock shafts that go, or the upper shocks that go onto the shock towers, both front, well, at least it was the front on my, or was it the rear? Oh, it was actually the rear too. And it was the same exact one. Isn't that funny? So on my Tenacity DB Pro, my my right rear, look at that, the thread lock is still wet. I put a ton of thread lock on that. My right rear on my DB Pro, I also lost the lock nut. And this one, the lock nut actually fell off on the bench here, so it was literally ready to just jump off anyway. So what I want to do is go over a couple of things. I do want to semi-break this down just a little bit. I should be checking the differentials because of how hard this thing ripped. The original smash that I had on the front of this thing, obviously I had bent the shock tower, which is now mint. I put a straight edge on it. Everything is mint. I had to, I actually sheared off one of my upper shock bolts, the shock tower bolt. I sheared that off. There's just a lot of things right now that need kind of attention. So I'm guessing, I'm wondering if I should just go after these differentials. Just to get like a visual, see what's going on. The center diff itself, the center diff has been redone. The center diff, I put 500K in, and it definitely helped tighten up that center diff to where I want nothing but 500K in here, just for me. This thing, I mean, yeah, I think it had like 100. It either had 500 and it turned into 100 because it got cooked, or which normally you would think like it would get, you know, stiffer. But I think when a fluid cooks, it all depends, I guess, what it is. But I got 500K in my center. The center was all redone. What else here? I should pop this one off. I should pop the front one off and just start going through this RC car. But I do want to see what's going on with this wheel first. That's the one that's in question. So let's see if the nut itself, yeah, see, actually the nut was loose. So I wonder if that was part of it. Obviously that's going to be straight. The other thing too is I'm also going to balance my wheels. Now there's definitely no water in it now that I vented them. So I did vent them. Got a vent hole right there. It's the tiniest little hole. It's all it needs. Got a tiny little hole there and a tiny little hole there, right in the centers, and all four corners of my car are vented. I went to go balance the tires, and I didn't think that I had driven through water enough, but apparently I had. So I'm going to pop off that right there, the hex. Yeah, I could definitely see it's bent. So got so much Loctite on this thing. There we go. So that's literally all it is it just bent. It literally just bent the end, which that's kind of what I thought what it was. So what I'll do is I'll start taking this apart just so I can go ahead and pull this out and figure out what's going on here. And like I said, don't trust, if you rip your vehicle hard, don't really trust the nylocks. Go ahead and throw a little bit of Loctite on your fasteners, especially like, at least for me, with this thing, I found that it was necessary. I need my magnet. I gotta find my magnet because I need to start being able to do this right. no idea. I have no idea where the magnet went. That's kind of junk. Where's my magnet? I've got like this whole strip of magnets. I've somehow I've lost it. What else is new? Ah, there it is. Whole strip of magnets. All that'll do is just make it so I can hopefully get the fasteners out, you know, keep everything kind of together. Slide this out and we'll see what this looks like. So you can see basically right at the pin is where it broke. So I'd have to be pretty careful rebending this because obviously it's right at the pin. And that means that most likely this side probably stretched and this side possibly collapsed a little bit. So I might introduce some heat into this just to get it so it's straight again. Trying to tell what it is. Ah, there we go. Actually, no, so I'm wrong. So it actually collapsed on this side and it's flared out on that side a little bit. So I might throw some heat on it just to make it a little bit more flexible, and I'll just bend it back into place. It'll be easy enough. Might be able to see if I can throw something on there. Like maybe if I can take a socket, if I've got a socket small enough, obviously clamp this in my vise, heat it up, and then just give it a tweak over and it should be fine. So I could probably move it, you know, being cold too, but at least the heat might just relax the metal a little bit. So that was probably all out of frame, wasn't it? So checking bearings. Let's see, what do we got for bearings here? So we do have a sealed bearing on the outside. Should be sealed bearings all the way around, but it feels mint. So I was hoping I could get that to pull through, but it won't. Just got to keep working at it just to get pry it out. There we go. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if some of my stuff, like my bearings and my pins and all that stuff, are junked up, only because I did take this thing apparently through salt water and I didn't really realize it. So this bearing is feeling a little bit dry. So I'm feeling a little something with this bearing here, but it could be just grit build up on the outside here, just up against that seal. Yeah, so I could definitely hear something going on with that bearing. Now, you can do a couple of things. You can go ahead and pick out the seal, which I hate to tell you, that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick out the seal and I'm going to repack. I'm going to clean out this bearing and I'm going to repack it. And it should be fine. This one is fine. No issue with that one. This pin feels a little tight. So I'll probably pop that off right now. Just see what's going on here. Where's that little wrench? Yeah, that pin is tight. So probably cleaning out the inside of that. Ooh, look at that. So even my pin is bent. So I can rebend that. That'll be fine. So I bent the pin, which again, maintenance, abuse. I'll rebend that pin. And I may even take like, I got a ton of different size drill bits. And what you can do is you can just run a drill bit just by hand inside just to help clean out the bore, which I don't think I actually have the correct size drill bit on my bench, but you could do that. Just clean it out. So we'll fix that pin. So that's bent. This is bent. That seems pretty free. This side's bent. And again, as far as all this stuff that's bent, I mean, this was all deserved. All deserved stuff here. Definitely deserved. So thread lock's actually a little tight on that. So what I can do, where is it? Where's the little one? I got this little one. Where is it? There it is. This one. Check this out. This is one of those little mini butane torches. It's real tiny, and it usually lights on the first like pull. Look at that. Lights right away. Heat that up a little bit. There it goes. It's the pin. Watch out for the hot pin. Plenty of thread lock on there. Yeah, I can see this pin is bent too. This has got a nice curse in it. Holy moly. So what I may do is I may put this on, put that back on, I'll pull it this way. Oh my God. Yeah. Now that's a sufficiently bent, that's a bent pin right there. And here's the insane part, right? That pin being as bent as it is, it did not hinder the performance, the thrashing of the vehicle. I mean, that's insane. Look at the metal stress. Look at the metal stress on that thing. Look at that. It's actually cracked. Oh my God, that's rough. So, yeah. I could go ahead and see if I can re-bend that, but look at that. That pin, the chrome on the outside, the chrome is actually fractured. I wish I could like see inside. You can see it's actually, the chrome is cracked a couple of times. So I think it looks like it might be 3 times that pin is fractured. So it could be just, but there you go. That's and for this thing to just keep running and to have no like noticeable, suspension issues, that's pretty nuts. What's funny is I was joking too. When you look at the thumbnail, I was joking. I just took this out. I just grabbed like my hacksaw and this sledgehammer as a joke. I didn't actually think I was going to need it. This thing was not exhibiting, you know what I mean? It really wasn't exhibiting a bent pin issue, but that's massive. That's actually awesome. Robbie, what's going on, guy? Hopefully you're doing well. So yeah, I can see that one's bent, obviously. Dog bone, I'm pretty sure was mint when I did roll it in the car. Yeah, dog bone is mint. What I should do is roll it in a bearing. I don't know why I'm making it hard for myself. Just roll it in the bearing. That way it's not fumbling on my fingers instead. And this one really isn't bent like appreciatively. So this might have been more just loose because the that lug nut was actually loose on this. Hammer time, it, just a little adjustment, right? This one's actually fine. It might take like a little tweak, like if I take the thread thing, stick it on there, we'll extend the we'll accentuate the bend by throwing this on. That's what this will do. It'll accentuate the damage so you can see it better. So I definitely gotta get rid of all that Loctite. So let's see. So what this should do is this should accentuate the, come on, get on there. It's minor. It's there. And it is right at that where the pin is. So what I'll do is I'll clean out the thread lock on this. I'll be able to screw this basically all the way on, and I'll rebend all these pieces. And they're not going to be as strong, especially like this one right here. This one probably has the potential of breaking. But man, this one's fine. I am going to rebend this. The chrome is fractured. I can't tell how deep it goes though. It's probably, like I said, it's just got to be the chrome that's cracked away. So there's that. We'll check the bearings. And this is the stuff that people kind of get, you know, bugged about. But if you didn't maintain your real car, you know, if you took your real car and drove it like I drove this thing, how do you think your own car would be? You'd have bent axles and your exhaust would be gone. All your steering components would be bent. Your wheels would be bent. Forge them again, heat, right? Heat it up, dip in water. Oh, yeah. Retemper it. The outside bearing is mint. So good for the outside bearings. Be interesting to know what the inside bearing's like on this one. I know this outside bearing. The outside bearing needs to be wherever it went. Oh, it's still on the thing. So this outside bearing could use a little help. We'll check this one. I already tried that. Just make sure when you're pressing out these bearings, you don't slip and stab your hand, because that wouldn't feel too good. Safety first, wear gloves. Make sure you got eye protection. So I'll clean this off. See what this one's like. This one's mint. So this one's fine. This one just has just a little bit. Probably what happened was, so this was actually the side. This is that right side. And this is the side of the vehicle that actually did get more of that salt water in it. So possibly maybe the salt water may have bypassed, you know, that seal. So, and started etching either the bearings or the race. So, but I can, like I said, I'm going to pop that seal out and I will clean it out and I'll just repack it with, you know, some grease and throw the seal on. It's really not bad when you feel it. If you could hear it. I don't know if you can hear that. I can hear it. So I was trying to put it up to the microphone. So 3 of the bearings seem to be okay. This one just needs a little bit of help. We'll check that later. That's probably fine. And now I want to go after the differential. So what I want to do, I'm going to put that hub back on just to kind of keep things in place. So we are on the innermost hole. So like what I was saying with the thread lock, I'm going to go ahead and just put a little drop of thread lock just on the nylock thread, because nylocks don't last forever too. That's the other thing. Nylock really realistically only has a couple of uses in it, and then it just gets progressively looser as time goes. So that feels mint. That one's mint. So let's just put these out of the way for now. And what I want to do is I'm going to take out these two back screws right here, just so I can basically just pull. I mean, I could take this like all out, but I want to also check the pin health or the pin condition of these suspension arms. Definitely seeing that. I cannot believe how bent that is, man. And the thing was still ripping. That's Losi, man. Oops. There's obviously junk stuck in here. Dirt. Some kind of debris. Oh, no, it's not. All right. This was something I never told you guys. I'm just remembering this right now. I was wondering why my driver wasn't going in there. Check this out. If you can see inside of that screw, can you see what I did? Come on. Focus on the right thing. You can see I slotted it. So I had taken my I use good drivers, right? But unfortunately, the weak metal of this particular head of the fastener broke. What's a lot of damage? There's no damage to this thing. This thing's mint. All the sand and stuff that just poured out of there. The pile of sand under it now. I should have vacuumed this thing. Now, since that beach rip, I never cleaned anything from the beach rip. That's why things are rusting. If you care about your, your stuff, you'll take care of it right away. Apparently, I don't care about my stuff. So that cleaned up nice. You can see the rust. There's obviously rust on it, but I mean, what do you expect? It's New England Oceans. New England Oceans supplying rust to your RC vehicle. So that's fine. This pin actually is probably fine. Feels good. Let's see what this looks like. It's all rusty. Look at that. Just going to roll it out. Yeah. Try rolling it on a magnetic mat. It doesn't work, by the way. It's not rolling. Yeah, so the pin is straight. It's just rusty. So that was causing a very slight issue with my suspension there, obviously, but just not enough to apparently for me to notice. So again, you could just take a drill bit. You could just run it in. That way you can kind of like get all the junk out of there. Just do it by hand. But I'm just going to take steel wool or sandpaper, and I'll just very lightly sandpaper that. But you can see that right there, those chunks, that's all rust from driving in the salt water. So these pins will get a lubrication now. So it's really good that I'm taking this thing apart. This could have been like a whole, 100-part series here. Same thing with this one. All nice and rusty. I should have thrown just a little bit of WD on it, but that's all right. It is what it is. I'm okay with it. That just means it's gonna perform even better now. But like I was saying with the drill bit, just do it by hand. You know, it just cleans out the cleans out your slots, your pin receivers, whatever you want to call them. They actually do have pin reamers. The guy from RC Driver, he was the first person that I had seen that did that. I actually used to use Allen wrenches. I'd just take an Allen wrench and stuff it in, and it would almost, do the same thing. It would like ream out the holes, but that was, when I was way younger. So just go ahead and use yourself a drill bit right there. And that's fine. So now all I got to do is 4 screws on the bottom here. And I want to just take the diff away. So I've got to see what screws that I can take away. I think it's these 2 right here. So this is for my wing mount. So these 2 screws, those 2 screws, and I think this tower, I think it'll just pop away, I believe. But you could see every fastener is rusty. So this is also the good thing about recording yourself, is that I need like another light that faces up this way, don't I? Because you could barely see. I think I can do this light to blind the situation. Yeah, I think that illuminates it a little bit better. Put some light on the subject. I'll move this down. Try to keep it semi out of the way. So in case you're wondering, is my Lasernut broken? That's actually not. Just it needs maintenance. I've beaten the absolute crap out of this thing. So everything that I'm discovering is 100% deserved. None of this is a Losi issue. And I'm not in Losi's back pocket, so just giving it to you straight. All right, so that, then these bolts, because these go through the wing and into the top of the diff, I believe. I'm just guessing. This is just guesswork here. Need the Halloween guy, right? Welcome to RC Guy Garage. Not as good. Not as impactful. Now see, Earl, this is the kind of lighting you need, Earl. Losi pocket coming soon. All right. Now I believe I could pull away, I think, this whole everything if I just could disconnect. No, wait a minute. I should just be able to pull this whole thing. Yeah, I can just pull this whole thing away. Yeah, there we go. And then, yeah, mint. Check that out. Losi, you guys are stinking awesome. Check that out. Bam. Now that was quick. I like that. Dude, that's a lot of access right there. Now it's like literally wide open. That's mint. That is awesome. So now we're going to get a good idea of what's going on in this diff. That was easy. Just 4 stinking screws. And the whole top just lifts away. That is awesome. You got so many lights right now. How's your electric bill doing? I don't even need this because that light's actually blinding my eyes. Although it does light up things, though. I'll just leave it. I'll just let myself be blinded. So, oh my God. See, don't do this. Don't leave your battery pack plugged in. By the way, it's not a good idea. Safety. Don't leave your battery pack plugged in. Although it is like fairly discharged. And just to show you, like, this thing was not done ripping. Let's check the cell voltage right now. Just to see how much of this battery pack I used. I was running a Game Changer fan. I ran for a solid I think I ran for a solid 20 minutes. I'm guessing. Only because obviously I saw the raw footage and I know how many times the GoPro had to like redo its own footage. So I'm pretty sure I ran a solid 20 minutes. And let's see what this battery pack still has in it. This is with a Game Changer fan running. Oh, well, I guess we did use the battery pack. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I guess we did. We're at 1%. So we sufficiently used that battery pack. That's funny. That literally, that's perfect. Check that out. I like it. This is one of those Power Hobby packs. That actually worked out, man. So there is a bolt that you need to take out for your center support. One right there. We're going to go after that. There's a lock nut on one side, and you've got the Allen on the other side. All right. And now we got to flip it over. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go dump this outside because I never dumped it out. So I'll be right back. I'm just going to dump it. So there's also debris in there. So I'll have to pick that out as well. Obviously right here. So I'll just tip it up. Just gonna pick that one out just because it's right there. And I'm gonna do the front as well. I should have just called this the Losi teardown. Lasernut teardown. You can always change the title later. See you later, chef. Now, what I should do is I should clear off my work surface. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah, they're all right. You just can't talk to them anymore. They still bomb around and they're still alive. They just, and also the other thing that I realized too is now they are completely disconnected from the internet, just because I upgraded my router to hopefully get rid of my streaming issues. And while doing that, it upgraded it to 5G. And upgrading it to 5G, these vectors only run on 4, so. Hope I'm all, dude, I'm always prepared for the winter. I was prepared last year, we had nothing. I was prepared last year and we had nothing. So I think that's the way Mother Nature's just going to be from now on. We're not going to have any more snow. So, but Big Black will always have its massive plow because how else am I going to move dirt on my backyard track? I use the plow. All right, so now I'm just going to pop these screws out. Oh, that's not going to work. Should use my driver for this. Oh, you know, do I even want to know? Oh, there we go. Hey, and you know what's funny? I found the missing driver too. If I use my driver, it just makes easier work. And I should probably bring the charger just in case. Now I just use a inexpensive driver. It's this thing right here. It's a Ryobi. This thing's great. It's a pistol grip. It's all you need. Or it's all I need for this. Little pistol grip. Oh, that was my head. Nice. All right. So... Now, I believe that should be it. And just a little bit of a lift. Yep. There we go. Diff out. Look at that. Look at all that junk in there. See that pile? Look at that. That's a pile right there. I'm going to slide this over to my trash bucket. That's better. I put that back together. I'll clean all that. So somebody was asking like how my front bearing is. Seems fine. You know what's funny is I think this is loose. The cup. Sure does seem like it is. There's some slop on there. I can't tell if it's actually that or if it's the bearing. Seems like it's the cup. Seems like the cup might be loose. What's the difference in the diameter of the original tires? Same exact diameter. So if you're talking to me, which I can't tell, you have to put the RC Guy Garage thing at it. It just helps. So here's the Lasernut tire right here. Here's the KAIJU tire. Put them up together. They're the same exact rollout. Like within like maybe a 1/16 of an inch. Same exact rollout, just massive, massive amounts of extra traction. So you're effectively getting, lining up the outside to outside, you're getting a whole 2-lug tread pattern width. Trying to line it up with the camera so you can see what I'm talking about. You're getting a whole 2-lug tread pattern width with these KAIJUs. These are just, they're too stiff. They're just too, in my opinion, these are just too stiff. They probably work for, you know, some people, but I've already, you know, kind of gone over this. This tire is what has helped save, well, let's put it this way, not save. How about this? This tire has allowed me to abuse this car, you know, to the point of where I'm bending pins and dog bones and drive shafts are still laser straight. Well, the dog bones aren't laser straight, but they're pretty dang straight considering. Drive shafts are fine. But I'll take an air compressor to this whole thing and I'll treat it right. Since I'm doing this, you know, I might as well. Oh, Tony, when you get a chance, man, it would be easier if you just send me a sticker. I got a little CCXRC little spot right there. Right there, I've been saving. So if you get a sticker that's that big, if you could just toss one in the mail, that'd be awesome. I got a whole bottom row here that can be filled with stickers. Let's see. I was going to print it up, but your graphic, my computer, the vinyl printer, the cutter, you already know. Your graphic is tough, man. It's murder on my software to try and laser print or whatever the heck that thing is to cut one out. It tries to do all the little jagged, like all the little jaggedness of your sticker. It tries to cut that out. It's ridiculous. What I'm doing right now is I'm just feeling the condition of this thing as a unit. Tight. This is loose, but I think this is, it's minimal. So it might literally just be that set screw. We'll see. We'll see once I just blow this apart. Taking this apart, what do we got here? We only got 2 screws left. So we got only 2 screws left to pull this thing apart. I'm going to lay out a paper towel. We'll get a good look at the inside of this differential. 2 screws right on the back side, one there, one there. That's my glue driver. That light is actually now not working well, is it? Can't tell. If I need like an overhead light like that. That's what I need. You know what? I have another light. I'm realizing you can't see nothing. Neither can I because I'm being blinded. I'll be right back. I'm going to actually get a light out of my office that will shine a nice light onto that. It even has a magnifying glass. All right. Let's see. Do I actually have room for this? I think I might. Something like that. And then plug it in. Oop, there we go. Does that work? I think that works. So this thing has one of those magnifiers too. So I can open this thing here. And then I wonder if this would, you know what? It'll bend weird. But see how it's like, I could magnify it, but I'll just use it as the light. I think that works. RC Raw Shock, what's going on, guy? You have a smoothed out version for vinyl cutting, or you could just send me a sticker. Unless you don't have any anymore. You know what's cool is I can actually use the magnifying glass. See, Earl? Earl, Guy, if you're still here, this is the lighting you need. Big Black was ready for snow. Right? Big Black is always ready for snow. It's just New England doesn't give us any anymore. So let's see. Pull this case apart nice and easy. Let's see the reveal. How much junk is getting in there? How much salt water got in there? What kind of fluid do we have? We're about to see. Oh, that is slick. What? That is... Huh. Check that out. Ooh. We got no fluid in there. There's nothing. That's not fluid. There's nothing in my diff. Oh my God. What? Dude, that's not fluid. That's not fluid. Dude, that is, you know what that is now. That right there, you know what that is. Wow. I just ran the Lasernut, annihilated it on an empty diff. Some nice gears, though, in there. Earl, you got to get this light, guy. This light's mint. Wow. There's nothing in there. Wow, that is horrible. What the heck? So we are getting grit bypassing, I think, this diff case. I think. Can't tell. But there's no fluid in here. That ain't fluid. That's we all know what that stuff is. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just feeling the pinion. There is a little bit of play, but I'm not surprised. I mean, with the heat buildup that this thing probably had. Losi, you guys are cheap. There's no, well, I mean, that's not lubrication. I mean, it is, but it's not. That's lubricated with liquid metal now. All right, so I'm going to be cleaning this out. I am going to take this off because I do want to check the health of the bearings. Oh yeah, that's loose. Wow, that's my issue. This thing was loose. This pin. That's also a micro pin too. Yeah, that was loose. So we'll pop all this stuff out. So there is a shim on the bearing. There's 3 shims on my bearing. So spacing, is it more than 3? So spacing these, this is how it was. 3 shims. We're pushing the pinion out. You can see that's 3. Make sure you wear gloves. Don't be putting this stuff on your hands. So 3 shims. I'm going to check and see if there's another one on there. Really can't see. That feels like it's just pinion. Find a razor blade. Where's my razor blade? Right here. Just see if there's another shim on there. Nope. No, that's just right up against the pinion. Kurtz, see you later, man. So I'll clean all of this stuff out. This bearing, we'll check this bearing. This is the inner bearing. So that means my front diff is going to be dry too. Awesome. So usually what I'll do is I'll take it and put it on these. Just to, and that bearing needs help. So I'll break down this bearing as well. I'm going to pick out the seal and I'm going to clean it out and re-grease it. And I'm just going to roll with it. Pop out that one. We'll see how this one is. Boy, that's terrible. Look at this. You know what that is. That's literally, I got to go get the real stuff so I can show you. So like I said, make sure whenever you're doing stuff like this, wear gloves. You don't want this crap getting into your bloodstream. See this stuff right here? What is in my diff right now is this. That is what I just found in my diff. Okay? This is anti-seize. So, yeah. So basically what that is because this differential was so dry, it's metal. It's literally liquid metal. So I'm going to pop these little side pieces out. Let's see if we got what we got here. So it looks like these bearings are doing their job in sealing stuff out. There is a little bit of grit right there, but it's so fine, I don't think you got to worry about it. So we'll put that on that side. See if I can just pop this bearing out. Should use a flat blade. See if it'll pop off. It's like I need two hands here. It's coming. It's just really slow. Here we go. Here we go. EKJ, what's going on, guy? This bearing's mint. So this side is the side we get the shims. So I got to keep that in mind. I'll keep like all this together. So this side, got a pretty hefty stack of shims here. Wow. Whoop. Let's see what we got. Oh my God. That's a pretty good stack of shims. Dang. So on that side, oh, we got 3 too. I thought there was going to be 4. So we got 3 shims on that side. And I'll keep that with this side. Clean everything off. And just pop this bearing out. See what the condition of this bearing is. See if I can pop this out the right way. There we go. Pretty dirty. It's a lot of junk in there. Look at that. That's obviously on the outside. Oh no, guy, no, this Lasernut is awesome. Don't worry about that. Is kind of really crappy that there's no fluid in there, but this Lasernut, this thing's loving me. Well, it might not be loving the abuse I'm handing into it, but this thing's mint, man. I definitely am happy with this. All of this is maintenance. Definitely kind of stupid that the it's definitely stupid that there was no fluid in there. Remember, paper towels are your friend. Make sure you have plenty of them. Wear gloves. So all this stuff will have to be properly cleaned. Keeping all those parts kind of together. Obviously, there's a difference, so it's not like I'm going to get confused, but keep things separate, keep things together. Should almost start over new with a. What I need is I need a plate. I don't have any of my wife's teacup plates down here. That's what I need. So I'm just going to transfer some parts onto another paper towel. Like I said, just keep things together. So now what I need to do, need to pop that bearing out. You need a dishwasher. Yeah, they do have those little mini dishwashers. That would be mint. We should do a dishwasher fund. The RC Guy Garage shop dishwasher. Just take all your pots and throw them in the dishwasher. But we'll take all these pots. We'll throw everything in the dishwasher. Make sure that, you know, tonight's dinner plates are in there with it. That way everything gets clean at the same time. I'm being a water conservationist that way by washing my RC parts with the dishes. That's the right way to do it. That way everything gets nice and clean. Make sure it's loaded up on jet dry. That way everything dries up nice. All right. I'm going to pop that other bearing out. Just use a driver. Hopefully this driver is the right size, and it is. Pop that out. We'll check the health of this bearing. So this is the outer bearing. This is the bearing that I've seen Exo Cage there have an issue with. I don't know, man. Did Exo Cage rip his Lasernut as hard as I did? Or did he really not even get a chance? So this obviously was the outside of the bearing. I can actually see some rust etching on that outside. At least it sure does look like it. And that's from the salt water that I ran this thing through. Not recommended. So I'm just going to put the screws that came with it just inside of here just for now. You know, I'd like to run the screws through the dishwasher, but they'll probably get lost. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. Don't run your screws through the dishwasher. Only just your plastic and all your electronics. Make sure you put your electronics right in the dishwasher. And it's better if you like crack open all your electronics, like you crack open the receiver, throw that in the dishwasher. That way all the internals get nice and clean. Same thing with the ESC. Just rip the whole ESC apart, throw it right in the dishwasher. Preferably put it like in a bowl so that the bowl fills up with water with the soap, and then that'll work out just perfect. Exo Cage ripped his. It only lasted 30 seconds. Right. No, Dan, don't do that. You know I'm joking. You know I'm joking, guy. Don't do that, because I can see it now. Somebody literally will take me literally, be like, oh, but guy said the next, yeah, you're talking to your like wife or your significant other, and this guy on YouTube, he said he sounded like he was competent. He said just throw everything with the dishes. Just throw it right in there. Jet dry, put it on pot and pan, high heat. Yeah, this bearing is actually mint. So that's the outer bearing. This is, now what's weird is the inner bearing on mine does have a little bit of funky feeling to it. But again, what I'll do, like I said, I'm going to pop that seal. I'm going to clean it out and I'll repack it. It's really easy to do. I could buy a whole bearing kit, but why? I mean, I'm sure it's fine. So that's fine. Now we'll pop open the actual, we'll pop open the literal diff and we'll see what's going on here. So I do want to kind of pre-clean this just a little bit. Getting Q-tips is all right, but I wouldn't use Q-tips on this, because what will happen is the Q-tip, it'll disintegrate because of the gears. So I'll just take like a paper towel and I'll wrap the driver and just go around the edge like that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it just, helps clean it. See? Just like that. Go in there. Well, I mean, don't forget, there are a couple of people out there that actually thought that drinking Lysol and eating bleach tabs was going to help them with a particular virus. Yeah. So, I mean, there are people out there that, will take it like literal Yeah, he said just drink bottles of bleach and you're good. So I think that's fine. I'll clean all these metal parts like for real. I'll put them in my dunk tank, but I'm gonna pop these screws out of here. Looks like a 1.5. Yep, like usual. And these are extremely. So that one was really loose. The other ones are fine. So one of mine was fairly loose. Now I want a clean surface here. Make sure you wear gloves. See, it gets mad. What happens if I shut this off? Is that worse? Yeah, it's actually worse, isn't it? The light's actually helping. Right, Dan. You drink enough of it, you won't have to worry about the cord. Yeah, I don't know, guy. Gotta be careful with what you say because people will take it literally. Damn, this guy Dan, he said he had the cure. It's definitely the cure in more than one way. It's the Lasernut, yes. Who asked that? Mr. Chunk. Are you you must like that movie Goonies, right? You calling your thing Mr. Chunk. I wonder if that's because you like Goonies. So it's got like the lightest coating of oil in there, which is fine. Dan, 90% of well, I don't know where you're from, but 90% of Americans, I think, are fat. I know I am. But well, actually, Earl's not. Earl's a rail. Earl Moorhead gets blown away in the wind. Yeah, Earl doesn't. Earl's food is his automotive and RC repairs. That's Earl's food. Mine is like my wife's cooking. My wife's cooking gets me every single time. It's just an excuse. I don't have to eat it, but why not live life? All right, so we're going to crack this open now. I think I need a hammer. All right, I'm just going to crack this open, see what happens. If it cracks open, yeah, that's metal. So let's see. All right, well, here we go. We're getting a look. I got a look inside. Ready? It sneaked up on me. We've got more of the, see? Telling you. So I'm telling you. See this stuff? See that? Look at it. Look at it. You see it? Come on, focus on it. Liquid metal. Do your maintenance. Otherwise, you might as well just throw this stuff in there because that's pretty much what that is right now. That's where they get it from. That's where they get it from. It's literally, I call it liquid bearing at this point in time. But yeah, that's some nice silver right there. At least this had fluid in it. This actually does have a good amount of fluid in it, which is a good thing. That's actually, I feel that is a proper amount of fluid in there. It's just coming up to the pins, but if you think about it, the way this is anyway, it's always this way, so everything always gets lubricated. It's always to the side. You know what I mean? So it runs this way. So the fluid's always going to be slung to the edges, and the gears are going to eat it up and sling it back in and all that other good stuff. But yeah, it's definitely a good idea that I'm doing this right now because this is pretty rough. So yeah, I know, dude. Right there. Right there. That's where they get it from. They empty out the diffs and they just stick it in these bottles. Isn't that awesome? Always to the side. Well, right. You're right, guy. And I was going to say that. Same with you. Earl's usually like flying through the air, going this way and then upside down, you know, floating through the air, limitless. And then he usually hits like chain link fences and. But he won't be doing that anymore. He sold his fastest limitless. So now he's going to be fastest limitless less. Limitless less. So I just want to see what we're looking at for pins on here. Let that sit like there. You know what I should do? Whoa. So all of these parts, now see, this is the way, this is the sun gear that should be in the Kraton. This. Not that piece of garbage that they've got in there. You've got no surface area on the Kraton one, the EXP. There's no surface area. Do I have it here somewhere? Getting my silver never sees everywhere. I put it in a bag. And what is the bag? It's over there. Oh, I don't know where. I don't know where I put it. Shouldn't have taken it off my bench. Number one, I gotta learn just to leave stuff just on this bench. That way it'll never disappear. I'll always have it. Well, I think people know, some people know what those EXP diffs look like. Wish I could show you, but what the heck did I do with that? Well, anyways, basically the EXP diffs, right? They're missing all of this backing material right here. So all of this material basically sits against the washer. It's what holds the pin in. The EXP is basically, I'm not even showing you, am I? The EXP is missing all of this like area. So it'd be awesome if this would actually fit in the EXP, something like that. And this seems like a better quality gear. I don't know what this is made out of, but I'm guessing because it's Losi, it's probably good quality. I brought in this hex just to show you, like, I can't even, this doesn't even give a good example of what the EXP thing is. But anyways, so let's pop this pin out of here. We'll see what we got for shims on this side. What I should be doing is So I should have this upside down, let the fluid kind of fall out of it. So what do we got for shims on this side? Looks like I think we've got one. Trying to see if I can divide it if it's like stuck together. Believe it's one. Yeah, it's just one. You sold your infraction V1, not your limitless? What? You sold? I sold my infraction V1, not my limitless. Oh, so your limitless was a converted infraction? Huh. For some reason, I thought, I don't know. I guess I don't pay attention. Thought I did. O-ring. So here's the pieces parts from that. One shim, O-ring. So this will be a nice little picture here. And all the never sees is slowly falling out, which so should the gears. Looks like the gears are popping out right now. Here they come. They're coming slowly. I think they're getting hung up. Yeah, they're getting hung up. But there we go. So he pops out as a unit. Look at that. Look at that. That's nasty. It's all silver. Look at that. Nice. Good stuff. So what I should be doing is trying to figure out what fluid is actually in here before it's all gone. Not positive, but yeah, maybe it's light. It's definitely a light fluid. I don't even know what fluid it is. I guess under 100K, maybe. So, and this also is that typical Losi thing there with those tiny little blocks, man. Those blocks are a pain in the neck. So we'll put this in solution. Gonna see what we got in there. What am I? Oh, right there. Make sure you wear gloves. Don't go doing this without gloves. It's the better way to do it. So keep that on that side. I almost thought the pin was a different size. That would have been terrible. For a second there, like the shadow made it look like the pin was a little bit smaller. So that's that. That goes with there. See what we got for shims and stuff on the inside of here. And it looks like, again, one shim. Oh, it goes forever. It's gone. So it looks like, feels like, I think it's the same exact as the other one. Looks like it's one shim. Yeah. See, I use a razor blade to divide. Sometimes they stick together. Just take a razor blade, and you can use a razor blade usually to divide them up. I'm not telling you to do it that way. It's just what I do. Don't do what I do. All right. More paper towels. You'll be buying stock and paper towels. I can tell you that. So I'll just get out the majority of this. And I'm going to clean all of these parts in a cleaner with a toothbrush. Just really get it nice and clean. Maybe I'll even introduce a little bit of hot water and toothpaste, and just don't go ahead and make sure if you're going to use a toothbrush, make sure you don't use like the toothbrush you're going to use for your teeth. Live, eat, and breathe grease and brake clean, baby. There we go. Earl is a brake clean huffer. You heard it here. He's a brake clean huffer. Don't do that, by the way. Don't listen to Earl. Don't do it. Bad idea. Wear gloves. Wear eye protection if you value your eyes. If you don't value your eyes, then do whatever you want. All right. So I think we're pretty much there. Basically, I'm just gonna clean all this junk. Now, these spider gears are comprised of, normally per side, 3 components, normally. You have this thing, which is pain in the neck, little tiny square. You'll have the shim, which there is only one shim. And obviously you'll have your, I forget what I called this, a pinion gear or a sun gear in the other video. It's just what comes out of my mouth. It doesn't always like match up to what the parts actually are. So here's your components of one of the shafts right here for the Losi. So those are the components of one shaft, one of the spider gear shafts, and you've got 2 of them. Wear gloves. So together. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bunch of components here. There we go. So our our rear differential was completely taken apart, as you can see on the table here. Definitely have a negative fluid issue in here. There was nothing. In turn, what that's going to do is seriously hinder the longevity of your gears. And there's already damage. But it is worn in damage, so, you know, I don't know. It's just something to keep in mind. Something else I'm noticing too is when they countersunk these, the flare over of the countersink actually flares into the little area right here. But I'll clean all these things up. The pinion itself, which is here somewhere, the pinion itself had 3 shims, just like this, which these are probably the shims that I need for my EXB. So I had 3 shims on it, just like that, which back up against that, pushing the pinion out into the ring gear. And then on, forget what side now, the non-geared side. So the non-geared side, which is this side, the cup side, up. So they actually were shifting the ring gear over, but then pushing the pinion into it. So whatever. That's what it was. Three shims, bearing. My inner bearing, surprisingly, is feeling very slight amount of funkiness, which was this one. And this was the one for my, yeah, it's this one. And this was the one for my pinion. So the inner pinion bearing has a little bit of funkiness to it. So like I had said, what I'm going to do is I am going to just pick out one of the seals or both seals, whatever I decide to do. I'll clean it out. I'll repack it. And this one's actually meant one of my, was it one of these bearings? Yeah, it was one of these bearings, which was for the actual differential diff, the actual diff itself. That one feels okay. Was it that, or was it the big bearing? Yeah, it was this one. So it was the larger bearing. So I'll do the same thing on this. It is a lot less, it is a lot easier to just go ahead and buy bearings, but I'm cheap. So I'm going to pick out the seal, clean it out, and repack it. See how that works. And I think that should be it for the live stream. We're at 2 hours of the live stream. What am I looking for here? All right. What are we looking at time? 1:30? It wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad of a live stream. So what do? Working on the Losi Tenacity Lasernut, we realized that within the good amount of rips that I did with this, even though this pin is massively bent, look at that thing. Even though this pin, which is the hub pin, is massively bent, the insane part is that I didn't even know the pin was bent. We did bend. I mean, when you think about it, that rip was hard. These are all deserved bends. So this was, I think this is the driver's side. No, this is the passenger one. How do I do this? You can see how that end is bent. I could go ahead and get new ones. I'm just going to straighten them. I'm going to straighten them because I'm not racing here. I'm just bashing. And when finally one of these breaks, I'll know it's deserved. Let's check the other one. I think, I think this one's the mangled one. Is this the mangled one? No, this is the good one. Come on, focus. There we go. So this is the good one. This one's very slightly bent. I could even leave that the way that one is, but I know myself. I can't. I'll have to try to rebend that. The other thing, too, that I noticed about these, I was just going to bring this to your attention right now. Once the bearing is off of this, because obviously the bearing is holding in the pin, right? The pin will slide right out. So just be careful you don't lose that pin. And this is going to be it right now from RC Guy Garage. We also had no fluid. No fluid in the rear, not actual differential, but in the differential housing, this piece. There was no fluid in here. And what was in here, because I've been ripping it with no fluid, basically what was left in there was this right here. Don't use this as a lubricant. I'll show you the stuff to use. For a ring, this is my own personal opinion. For a ring and pinion situation, for ring and pinion, every single differential that I take apart is now getting this stuff. I was originally using, and I've used it for years. I always used it was a synthetic, I think it was a synthetic bearing grease. But this is the stuff that I use right now. Right there, Permatex brake parts lubricant. It's a silicone ceramic extreme. And if this is good enough for automotive brakes with all the heat that's generated and the amazingness of the orange, it's just, I mean, it's neon orange. You know what I mean? Easy to clean up. This stuff, don't do that either. No, do not eat. Says it right on here. Probably says don't eat. This stuff is so slick. It almost is, it's almost cool to the touch too. So who knows? Maybe it also cool. You know how they have like that mouthwash and whatever. They have different mouthwashes that have that like cooling. Oh, icy hot. There we go. Hey, I wonder if that's nah, because it would probably work the opposite way. So instead of being icy, it would be hot. It would burn up your differential. But hey, why not? Somebody should try it. Somebody should take apart their differential and throw some icy hot in there. See what happens. But this is the stuff I recommend. Every single car that I've taken apart, and it's been quite a while now. I don't even know how many vehicles have it, but every diff I take apart, ring and pinion, not inside of here. We're not putting it in here yet, but I'm guessing that if you were running like something that was a road car and you wanted a separation between the left and right sides of the wheels, that would probably be a good lubrication to go ahead and stick in there. I mean, the stuff is, telling you, the stuff is slick. So, I mean, I think because it says ceramic on there, I mean, what are ceramic bearings known for? Being very ultra glide, ultra slick. So that's what I would recommend. I am going to try to rebend that pin, watch it break. This pin, it's so bent that the chrome fractured on the outside. And I can't tell. I actually can't tell if that's actually broken all the way through. Like if it's just the chrome coating on the outside or if it's the actual metal stress of this pin is broken. So I guess when I go to rebend this, if it breaks, it breaks. And I'll put a little super glue on it. Seal it right up. I'll get out my MIG welder and weld it. Most likely I'm ordering new pins. And it's okay, though. I abused it. I'm okay with it. I'm smiling. That rip was worth it. So, I don't know. What else do I say? What else do I say is I just end this live stream. And I say thank you to you guys for subscribing to the channel. Hopefully you like the content. I did leave a link in the description. It's the first line. If you haven't checked out that video of the last rip that I did with this Lasernut and the abuse that I put this thing through, watch the video. Like, watch it all the way through. I think there's like 3 cinematic-ish kind of things going on in the video, which... And I've been doing like the voiceovers because I got this monster thing now. It's on a crane, you know. I'm getting all Tony'd out here. I even got Tony's headphones. You know, come on, guy. So, all right. Just got to jump in the chat real quick. Dan, what's going on, guy? Earl Moorhead, 44 thumbs ups. 43. 43 is what I see. 42. How come my computer says 42? My iPad says 43, and you're saying 44? That's awesome. How many people like in the stream? 24? It's not bad. 40. I just lost a thumbs up. Someone just... Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I thought people like all of a sudden thumbs down the video. I was looking at the wrong thing. I'm like, oh no, it's like dropping. What's going on? All right, right. There's only 20-something thumbs ups. Come on, guy. It's like 40 people in here. Just throw it up there. It doesn't cost you a dime. Tony, what's going on, guy? We'll see you later. GRC, what's happening, man? We'll see you. Woody, we'll see you later, man. Lauren, we'll see you. We got C Stone here. Thanks for the stream. Thank that, dude. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. And thank you for that if you do. Cleaning and wrenching, dude. I gotta wash my... Don't put your stuff in the dishwasher either. I keep forgetting. That's probably blowing people's ears out because this microphone is like a lot more sensitive. So, who else is here? Right. Hey, right? Losi, right there. Losi's my biggest banner. Other than that, you got the nice HOBAO banner. We're not going to talk about the banner that's behind that. See, there is a banner that's behind there. But yeah, until they make things right, bam. No, thank you. I don't need to be displaying them. They already have enough money anyway. They have enough money. Anybody want a Traxxas banner? So, all right. Like I always say, I'm out. You should get out too. And what? Point blank rip it. If anything, you should full trigger bananas stuff. That's going to be, I should put that on a shirt. Full trigger bananas. It's sometimes, man, I'm telling you. The whole thing about this RC hobby is to throw a smile on your face, share it. You know, if you enjoy it, then probably somebody else would. Share it with, you know, if you have children or, you know, if you're an uncle or an aunt or whatever, you know, and you're into the RC hobby, share it with your nephews and nieces, share it with your sons and daughters. We have... I don't know. We've got a whole like crew of people growing up in the hobby now that you get them involved now. It's a positive experience. Could possibly their bank accounts be drained at some point? Yeah, it does happen, but it's for a good purpose or for a good reason. So yeah, all right, enough talk. All right. Thank you guys for coming to this episode from RC Guy Garage. We just live wrenching on the Losi Tenacity Lasernut. And do I want to end it? I'm going to hit the end of the stream so it grays out my thing there. I'll click it over to the red square end button. 43 people. Nice. Mike, guy, dude, you missed it. See you later, Dan. Hector, dude. What? Did you guys just get the things now, or are you on lunch break? So, all right, I'm out. Watch the stream. It had some good stuff in it. We found out what they're using for lubricant. Like, not really, but yeah, guy, that's where they get it from. They get it from old differentials. So, all right, that's it. Ending it. See you later. Thanks for coming. Maybe we'll see you tonight. I don't know.